Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett's Take. Let's get started. There's a lot to go over. Um, so the big Woj bomb that came out is, I actually came out rather quickly than I expected, but James Harden is finally traded, and he got traded to the Nets as part of a 14 deal. Nets get Harden, Pacers get Karis LeVert, um, Cavs get Jarrett Allen, Torian Prince, and Houston gets Victor Oladipo, along with three first-round picks and three swap picks, meaning they were just going to switch positions in that order for those 3 years. So basically, 6 years in a row, the Nets are going to be not having either having no draft picks or not good ones. But anyways, so you know how I feel about super teams forming, so I'm not going to go there yet. Despite this, I still think they're not automatic favorites per se. I mean, if Kyrie's too much of a problem, that could be bad. Dinwiddie's still out for the year, so that's a problem. And now with LeVert, Allen, Prince gone, I mean, the Nets bench is not as deep. But let's examine who won this trade. Because a lot of you think, oh, it's the Nets, of course. They got James Harden. Well, let's go through all the 4 teams and let's see who actually won the trade. Let's start off with the Cavs. The Cavs just straight up lost this trade. Reason why is they usually suck at making deals anyways, and this is why they're a bad franchise. But I mean, they got Jarrett Allen, who's a good young rim protector center. Like, I'm not dissing Allen, but the problem is you already have Andre Drummond and Kevin Love and JaVale McGee. You already have three. Well, Kevin Love's more powerful. You basically have 3 main big guys in your rotation. Now, if the Cavs were to trade Drummond or something for good value or Love, then this makes more sense and then becomes better. But as of right now, it's just like you already had a lot of bigs. You did not need to add Jarrett Allen. And then Prince, he's a nice role player, but nothing more than that. Nothing special. So that's why the Cavs lost that one. Houston is a loser as well. Oladipo is a good player, but not anywhere near James Harden's level unless you're talking about defense. But because Oladipo's obviously better there, but they have to hope that most of their draft picks becomes at least borderline, if not all-star type of players, in order for it to all work out. Kind of like the Thunder are going to have to be doing for the next years to come. And because the Nets picks are not going to translate to being at the end of the first round anyways for the next couple of years, it's like it's not going to be high quality ones. That's why it's going to be very hit and miss with them. So that's why I say they're still a loser as well. I mean, they went for just getting James Harden out there because he definitely wanted out there. He was like cancer to the locker room. They won in that regard, but overall they lost. Now for the Nets, short term might be the correct answer here as far as if they won. But again, if Kyrie is a problem, then they may result in them having a dysfunctional locker room, which they might already have a dysfunctional locker room right now. Or it maybe get back to where everyone has to get traded somewhere. So instead of a big 3, it's just a big 2. And just ask the Warriors, by the way, when KD was there in his following year. You had Livingston and Iguodala as your 6-man, but other than that, it's like your bench was nothing much. It was very small because you had to pay KD, you had to pay Steph, you had to pay Clay, you had to pay Durrett. So that's the risk you run with paying a bunch of superstars to form a big 3, especially when none of them are taking a pay cut. So good luck with that, Nets. And so in the end, I feel like the Pacers won this deal. Now again, Oladipo's a little better defensively, but LeVert is a good player. In my opinion, he's a borderline all-star player. And the Pacers, they didn't lack defensive side. What they lacked was they needed like a scoring burst besides Malcolm Brogdon or besides Domantas Sabonis. They needed that third banana, that third wheel, if you will, to kind of take the pressure off them some nights. And LeVert's exactly that guy. Like I say, he's a borderline all-star player that can give them that boost. And plus, they didn't really cost. It was just a little swap of Oladipo, so it's not like they had to give up a draft pick or anything. It's just like they got a perfect deal. And I'll be coming out with my NBA predictions update in a little bit. But let's transition to my picks for this upcoming weekend in divisional rounds for the NFL. Let's start off with the first Rams versus Packers. So the Rams have a whole bunch of players, as we know, that's not 100%, which is not good if you want to beat Green Bay in the frozen tundra and upset Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people think this would be a blowout, but I don't see it that way. I think the Rams defense will keep them in this game for as long as they can before the Packers insert their dominance. Kind of like what you saw in the Saints-Bears game this past week. It was like 7-3, and then the Saints start out. So I have the Packers winning this one and covering 20-6 is the final score. Ravens versus Bills. Now this should be the best game of the weekend. The Bills actually gave up a lot of running yards to the Colts, which means the Ravens can establish what they want to do by running the ball and make things very interesting. And on defense, the Ravens were able to shut down King Henry, so I feel like they can stop Josh Allen from using his legs running the ball and just making him just a passer, which obviously Josh Allen can do. But obviously, if you take away his dual threat ability, it's a different dimension to the game. Also, it's going to be very cold weather, potential snow. That may or may not affect Lamar. That may not affect the defense for tackling Lamar or the other running backs. Yeah, for the Bills, I mean, it just comes down to can they contain Lamar? Maybe. I don't know, but in my mind, I'm going with my gut here, and I actually think that the Ravens will actually upset the Buffalo Bills. I'm calling it 24-23. Browns versus Chiefs. There's two ways this game's going to go. Either it will be a shootout, going back and forth with one another, or the Chiefs win easily. I'm not too concerned with the one possession wins like everyone else is for the Chiefs. Because first of all, it is the NFL, and then second of all, they were doing the same thing last year for the most part, and then obviously as the playoffs went on, even though they were down a lot, they inserted their dominance and showed they were the best team. So I feel like that's what they're going to do again. They're going to remind, well, hey, you got to beat us in order to get the Super Bowl. We're the reigning Super Bowl champions for a reason. And the problem with the Browns is that their defense is not that good, so they have to force turnovers like they did against Pittsburgh in order to win games. Yeah, they can force one turnover, but I feel like they're going to have to force 3 or 4 again in order to win. I don't feel like they're going to be able to do that. So this is why I'm going to take the Chiefs to win and cover in a high-score one, 42-24. And last but not least, Bucks versus Saints. Will there be a sweep, or does Tom Brady have any postseason magic left in him? Maybe. And I think the Saints will once again be able to get pressure on Tom Brady. Now, I don't think it'll be a beatdown like it was in Tampa even in the first game of the season. But I feel like when you look at all the key boxes, I feel like the Saints check more boxes off than the Bucks do. I feel like Saints will get the sweep and face Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. So I have them win and cover. 31-24 is my final score there. So now, as I said, I'm going to go over my updated NBA projections. So for the and I'm going to do this quickly. So number 1, I got Milwaukee. 2, Philly. 3, Indiana. 4, Brooklyn. 5, Boston. 6, Miami. 7, Atlanta. 8, Charlotte. 9, Washington. 10, New York. 11, Toronto. 12, Orlando. 13, Cleveland. 14, Chicago. And 15, Detroit. So now to explain all that, I feel like Milwaukee, once again, they're always a good regular season team. They're going to we should just expect them to be the number 1 seed every year. Now, whether they the playoffs is a different question, but I feel like they can win a bunch of regular season games. Philly, I got second. I like what they're doing. They're once again winning a lot of home games, which is good. But they're just playing better. Joel Embiid's playing better. Simmons is playing. Seth Curry is playing good for them. So, and I feel like Doc Rivers is just getting better coaching out of them. So I feel like they're on the right track. Indiana 3, again, I like what they've been doing already, but now that they got LeVert, they're just going to be that much more dangerous. Brooklyn, I got 4 because, again, the Kyrie dysfunction, James Harden getting the rhythm with the Nets and their system stuff. I just feel like it's going to take a while to kind of gel. But once in the playoffs, though, they're going to be scary. Boston, I got 5 just because, again, with the COVID problems right now, and I feel like, again, once Kemba Walker comes back, that's going to help them a lot, but I feel like right now their bench is kind of hit and miss. So without a bench, you can't rely on Tatum and Brown every single game to carry the load. 6, I got Miami. Again, they're not the best regular season team. Jimmy Butler's not a regular season guy. He's just a playoff guy. So I feel like that's why Miami's going to be at the bottom of the crop there. But again, the playoffs, they can make some magic happen. 7, I got Atlanta. I like what I'm seeing from them, at least offensively. And they definitely taking that next step. It sucks that Bogdanovich got hurt for them, but hopefully he comes back soon. They got a bunch of other good pieces. Clint Capela's been working out for them. Josh Collins has been working out for them, and of course Trae Young's continuing to emerge. I like where they're going. 8. The reason I have Charlotte is because, again, I like their young core. I like what they're doing. They were in the 9th seed last year. They almost got into the play-in game last year, so I feel like they're going to be. They're going to be just fine. It's going to be a bunch of ups and downs with the typical young group, but I like the addition of Hayward. Rozier's playing out of his mind right now, so I like what they're doing there. Washington, yeah, they have problems defensively, but I feel like offensively, it will get them to a playing game scenario. And if they get there, we'll see what happens. And last but not least, it was between New York and Toronto, but I like New York just because I like what they're doing defensively. I like the way they're playing so versus Toronto, where it's just they're messy right now. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to figure it out. I feel like playing in Tampa Bay for their own games might be hurting them. 12, I got Orlando. You may be wondering why I don't have them higher, and it's because Markelle Fultz towards ACLs. He's out for the year. So that's a key piece gone. Plus, their bench wasn't deep anyway, so they rely on their starters to do good night in, night out, which I feel like won't be that well. I like it won't translate to a bunch of wins. Cleveland 13, yeah, they had a nice couple 6 to 7 games, but now they're just showing their true colors and they're not going to be good. Chicago 14, we already know they're not going to be good. And Detroit, we already know they're not going to be good. Okay, so now for the West, you got Lakers 1, Clippers 2, Jazz 3, Suns 4, Mavs 5, Blazers 6, Warriors 7, Spurs 8, Nuggets 9, Kings 10, Pelicans 11, Thunder 12, Houston 13, Timberwolves Minnesota 14, and then Memphis last. So again, there might be some questionable things here. We can all just say that Lakers are going to be number 1, so we can all say that definitely. Now, 2 seeds is interesting. I thought actually, Utah's current 2 seed right now, and I thought maybe they can get all the way to keep that 2 seed, but I'm like, Clippers are going to probably get there. So then that's why Utah 3. Now, Phoenix 4 is interesting. I can easily have swap Phoenix and Dallas. I could easily see that happening. But I feel like that Booker CP3 combination is going to be deadly near postseason time. I feel like that's going to translate to more wins. The versus Dallas, we have to ease Porzingis back and have COVID problems and stuff like that. 6 again. You can even swap 6 and 7 right now. Like I feel like Blazers. I feel like Golden State won't be able to win all the games because they can't rely on Steph Curry to produce 40, 50 points every single night. So that is a disadvantage versus the Blazers, where if Dame is off now, well, they have CJ McCollum, they have Robert Covington, they have Carmelo Anthony, so they have much more pieces there. But it's close, though. Again, I could swap either one. And then for the 8th seeds, it's very interesting, but I'm going to go with San Antonio. Despite not having a lot of talent, I like the way they're playing so far. It shows the greatness of coaching by Greg Popovich. 9, I got Denver. You may be thinking why they are so low. Yes, Mike Ward Jr. has been out for them. That's a key problem, but I just feel like they're losing their lack of bench that they had last year has been hurting them so far. And Jamal Murray has been playing like he has been in the bubble. If he has, it would be a different story, but he hasn't. So it's just been all Joker. So that can only get you so far. But again, the playing scenario, I like their chances. In Sacramento 10, again, they're up and down, but I kind of like the way they've been playing as well. New Orleans, they've kind of disappointed me so far. I thought they'd be the 8th seed, but so far the way they've been playing, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I feel like they're still going to be another year or two in the process of a rebuild. Oklahoma City, they're doing good so far. They're surprising me, but I feel like it's not going to be sustainable success, so they'll eventually die out. Houston 13, again, some nice pieces, but I mean, we know they're not. We know they can't compete right now. They're just missing that superstar element. Bunch of nice, good role players and borderline all-star players, but no superstars, and that's not going to get you anywhere. Minnesota 14, Carly Towns been out. I feel like D'Angelo Russell's a nice point guard, and they got a nice draft pick. But I feel like, again, their bench is lacking. So, again, if a star or two has struggled, then that's going to be bad for them. Then Memphis, obviously, with John Morant out for a while, it hinders what they can do. They're doing okay despite him so far, but that's not going to last that. So, there you go. So, there you have it. I decided I'm not going to go ahead and do what I think would happen in the playoffs, but I'm just going to keep it as is right now. So, there you go. Thank you for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel and tell everyone about me. Thank you very much, and you all have a wonderful day.